It's 3 a.m. in a Seattle hotel room. Samay Raina is lying on his bed, shaking. He's just swallowed nearly half a bottle of melatonin, trying to get a single hour of sleep. Back in India, 4 FIRs have been filed against him. His phone won't stop. The chief minister of Assam is personally involved. He's trending #2 on Twitter, right behind beer biceps. And primetime news anchors are saying his name like it's a crime. His team just ran the numbers. If he boards the next flight home right now, he loses $800,000. Everything he has ever earned, gone. He still has a show to perform in 4 hours. And here's the thing nobody tells you. 1 year later, he's richer and more famous than ever. This is the story of how that happened. Act 1. Who is this man? Boy who learned to survive before he learned to perform, born into a Kashmiri Pandit family, a community that knows what it means to lose everything overnight. In the 1990s, his family was forced to flee the valley with almost nothing. They rebuilt from zero. That background gives you a very specific operating system. You don't fight battles you can't win. You don't perform strength when you have none. You wait, you survive, you come back. He spent years grinding open mics in Pune while studying print engineering, a course he found so suffocating he used stand-up as his only way to breathe. Then Comic Stan happened. He co-won. Chess Base India happened. He became India's most unlikely internet personality, a comedian who talked about chess and somehow made it cool. But Samay understood something early that most creators never figure out. In India's internet economy, being spotless is the most dangerous thing you can be. One mistake and it's over. So he decided, before anyone else could, to already be the villain. Act 2, the strategy. While other creators were spending energy crafting a clean, wholesome image, Samay was doing the opposite. He leaned in, raw, flawed, deliberately provocative. The kind of guy who says what you're not supposed to say, and then laughs at the fallout. The logic is airtight if you think about it. If people already expect the worst from you, there's nothing left to cancel. The mob needs a pedestal to tear down. Samay never built one. It was a calculated brand strategy dressed as chaos. And it worked, until he handed the microphone to someone who didn't understand the rules of the game. The peak and the fall, 40 million viewers. Then one question that burned it all down. In early 2025, Samay launched India's Got Latent. Within weeks, it wasn't a show, it was a cultural phenomenon. 40M plus unique monthly viewers. More people watching than primetime TV. Brands were lining up. He was selling out 50,000 tickets in the US before the tour had even started. Then came the bonus episode. Guest judge Ranveer Alabadia, known online as Beer Biceps, asked a contestant a would-you-rather question involving the contestant's parents that was so graphic, so completely without justification, that the clip went everywhere instantly. Samay's defense. Beer Bicep asked that question 8 separate times. The 1% he kept was a mistake, one he'd spend months paying for. But nuance doesn't trend, clips do. Within 48 hours, the man who was selling out American arenas was watching politicians file criminal cases against him from a hotel room in Seattle, a state of psychosis and a call to his father. Let's be honest about what this period actually looked like. Shivering, breathlessness, anxiety attacks before going on stage, waking up unable to tell if the news on his phone was real or a nightmare. He later described it publicly as a state of psychosis. His brain had stopped being able to process what was real. And under all of it, the weight of $800,000. Leave now, lose everything. Stay, and face the footage of him trending next to Beer Biceps on every news channel in the country. He called his father. His father, a man whose family had already lived through losing everything once, said this: "You don't exist because of the show. The show exists because of you." That one sentence changed everything. Act 5, the move nobody expected. He deleted everything. Then he walked into a police station. On one night, Samay deleted his entire YouTube catalog. Not one video, not a few, everything. Gone. Most edgy creators would have doubled down, played the martyr, made a 40-minute response video calling it censorship. Samay did none of that. He came back to India, went to the police station voluntarily and said, "I'm sorry." The internet called it a capitulation. He called it a Kashmiri Pandit move. When the fight isn't fair, you don't fight, you survive. You come back stronger when the rules have changed back in your favor. His brand had been built on the idea that he was someone who could take the heat. What nobody expected was that his most strategic moment would be the one where he admitted he couldn't. Act 6, the comeback still alive. 300,000 tickets, and a lesson nobody talks about. His Still a Like My tour sold 300,000 tickets across Europe and Australia. He came back wealthier than before the controversy, more famous, more respected, at least by the audience that actually mattered to him. The people who wanted him canceled, moved on to the next target, the way they always do. The people who loved him were still there, and they'd watched him handle pressure with more class than most people twice his age. But here's what nobody in the think piece industry wants to say out loud. The controversy didn't survive him. He survived the controversy. And in today's attention economy, that's the only metric that matters. Closings. The provocation drives comments. So here's the question nobody wants to answer. Was Samay Raina reckless? A man who built an empire on the edge of a cliff and got lucky when he didn't fall? Or was he the most self-aware performer in Indian comedy? Someone who understood that survival is a strategy, apology is a tool, and the only people who never get canceled are the ones nobody cares about. Because if you think what he did was cowardly, I'd ask you this. What would you have done at 3 a.m. in Seattle, shaking in a hotel room with 4 hours until showtime? He went out and performed. Season 1 is over. He's still here. And if his latest special is any indication, he's just getting started. Drop a comment, coward or genius. The debate is the point.